Alright, today we're going to knock out a DIY skateboard. I had some spare parts lying around, and the only other things I need is a deck. So let's head to the hardware store. Alright, now at the hardware store, we're going to replace the deck, which we don't have, with a regular piece of wood. $3.50, that's pretty cheap. Now, I go ahead and check the width of it, and how I'm going to stand, and how far, and see if this cut's going to do good. You want to make sure you feel comfortable on the board. I didn't want to use a 2x4, that'd be too thick and too narrow. The next thing with the board is, since it's supporting your weight, you want the growth rings to be small. And see how I basically have a center cut there? And that's going to affect the strength of the board, since I don't have a laminated board to replace it with. Next, we're going to need some hardware. We want to replace the bolts, which are too short for the thicker piece of wood we're going to use, but we want to keep the lock nuts that we have. So we make sure the lock nuts fit, and we're good to go. So altogether, this board is costing me $6.32. Not too bad. Alright, now we're back at the garage. I laid out everything I need for this job. A little crate to do my cutting on, power, my skill saw, a regular saw, a drill, a pair of pliers, my drill bits and screw, the tape measure, the piece of wood. Let's make sure we have the right side up that we want to use. That's it. We got all my bolts. We have the old nuts over there on the left that are black, the original. The pair of trucks I found, and wheels. We're set. Now we're going to go ahead and measure out how much room I need on the board, what feels comfortable. And I'm just going to go ahead and mark that with a pencil when I'm done. Utilize the saw I have, which actually will give me a right angle, so I get a straight cut on this guy. Make sure you're very safe with power tools, guys. Get lined up so you make a nice straight cut. And here we go. Alright guys, now let's get the hardware on that board so we can go ride it. The board measured 5.5 inches across and the trucks measured 2 inches across. So that left me with 3.5 inches, which you want to go in the middle of that. So you want to be 1 3/4 inches away from both sides. So you measure that, make your outline, and mark your holes and get ready to drill. Alright, now that we're ready to drill, let's match up our drill bit and our bolt to make sure it's not too large or too small. I basically do this by setting them both in my finger and kind of just feeling out the distance. And once you got that, put your drill bit in and get to drilling. And we're nearly done. Go ahead and throw your bolts in the holes. And we're going to flip it over and bolt the trucks on. And now to make sure the trucks stay on, we use a Loctite nut, which came on the original bolts, and they fit on the new ones, which are perfect length. These prevent things from vibrating apart. They basically lock onto there, and they stay about indefinitely. So let's screw these guys on. Alright, last step guys. Gonna throw on the wheels, use a Loctite nut. Has a plastic ring on the inside of that which prevents it from coming off as well. Tighten these down. Let's take it for a ride. Alright, thanks for checking out my skateboard DIY. I hope you guys got some good ideas. And Check out my channel. Connect with me on Twitter. Have a good summer. See ya.